Good evening, everybody, and welcome to a very laggy, once more, Jerez circuit. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. We have got the final round of the SAL Academy Championship, the SAL Academy Championship, if we're technical. Got a brilliant attendance here, we like to say. And trying to figure out what my ping. Oh, 83 FPS, lovely. Lovely, nice and smooth for all of you. A smooth operator, as some would say. But Nicholas Ramacii, who isn't currently in the server, but will be in the server ASAP, is looking to make it 100% win record in this series. It is the final round. He wrapped up the championship long ago, and has won every single event so far. And it'd be bitterly disappointing for the Italian if he is unable to do that. But I'm sure he doesn't care too much, as he is the champion, and that is all that matters. Mohit Samurai has joined the game. Gonna cause a very interesting race. This is Manuel Alvarez Sanchez. We're not yet in qualifying. This is currently the practice session, going very deep into that corner. I do not know this track. I wasn't actually meant to be doing the cameras for this race until about an hour and a half ago. And Jacob Reed, unfortunately, once more has got other commitments in terms of racing, doing the 24 hours of Spa. So make sure you wish him luck in chat, and maybe they'll finally give us the stream one of these RFAX 2 leagues. Mohit being Mohit in chat, and Sensor Button has come out already. 4 minutes and 45 seconds into the stream, and the Sensor Button has had to be used already. Well, everyone, congratulate Sean Jones, and that was a lovely bit of lag there. Formula 2 cars we're in. 7 gears, and I've just got to load in James Smith and Sensor. Oh no, Sensor Button didn't work there, unfortunately. Actually, a lovely little camera angle there, as we wait for qualifying to get underway in 3 minutes' time. I'm admin for this race as well, so I have to say 3 minutes. Yellow flags up ahead. I wonder who that is for. Is Kevin Veichers on pole? Tom, do another ping or something. Yes, I could do another ping on Discord. That would actually work. Well done, James Smith. You are a genius. Like Einstein is quivering in his grave right now at such a genius. Sarcasm aside, I've gone into my radio player app rather than Discord. That was Einstein move from me right there. So Discord doesn't want to connect, which is all too typical. I have a ping that is from the Association of Drivers, and Racii's already pinged. So that's lovely. Ramacii has joined the game. Which means it looks very. I'm going to double check before we start committing to anything that Ramacii is actually on for a 100% record. But if he is, that's going to be an insane result from the very talented, I would say young man, but he's probably the oldest here. 7 people attending. I think that's going to be our maximum, actually. It's a bit of a shame. This is why I don't know if we are doing SAL Academy next season. I will answers on a postcard. I will let you know. A little bit frustrating, but I think it really just shows our Factor 1. Old game, old platform. Why am I going on to the live races? That's not... Oh dear. I need to go into the spreadsheet. That works. It's just our Factor 1 being old, to be honest. Our Factor 1's a pretty old game, and no one really wants to play it anymore, with everyone going on RFAX 2 and stuff, even though it looks pretty, without sounding too weird there. I mean, look at some of these textures are actually really impressive. That's not so impressive. Someone's going to comment about this moment in a month or two. Engagement. Yes, no, Ramacii is on for a 100% record. He's almost 100 points in the lead of the championship. Second is Alessandro Maggio. Ramacii has been dominant, would actually be insulting to him at this point. But oh dear, it's qualifying. Right, going to quali. Let's just tell everyone that we are going to quali, and we're going to go to... No! Wrong button. No, wrong button. No, next session. It'll be okay. It's okay. It's okay. Oh dear. I've pressed the wrong button. No, I do apologise, everyone. It's fine. It works. It's a minor detail. Right back. Ah, but it wouldn't be a solo stream of me and being admin and me not messing up at some point. So basically what happened was, we are in qualifying now, by the way. I pressed the next... I pressed the next circuit button rather than the next track, rather than the next session. I should check that race settings are all good. Yeah, everything is okay. Well, you can see there all the settings. Lovely jubbly. But yes, I pressed the wrong button, pretty much, which is a massive shame. But it's fine, everything's sorted, and we're ready for this qualifying session. Now, Sean Jones is in the gravel. Struggling to get out of there, it seems. But all is good now. You can see the cars whizzing past. F2 2017 spec. These beasts. Not as fast as the other two series, but you can see from that James Smith there, they are fast. 170 miles per hour top speed. As Gypsy, I can't pronounce his first name, I do apologise. Stella has gone off. A bit of an incident there. Now, of course, that isn't the track, so he is off the circuit safely. And unable to get the car going again, it seems. Perhaps you've got to turn off auto clutch, if you listen carefully. His engine is still running, so that's not a problem. And he has got going again. Finally. Glad he is all sorted out. Going around the hairpin, and oh, he stopped again into the pits. Finally, I think he actually missed the pit lane there. A really weird pit entry. Ramacii is about to start his first flying lap, so let's take it on board with him. Considering he is the champion and the dominating driver of this series. As you can see, he's currently rounding that final corner. This could actually be his hot lap, I believe. I'll double check for you though. I suppose we'll see on the timing display, won't we? It was his first hot lap. 1:24.5. 2 seconds up on anyone did in practice, I believe. What a driver. 1:25 was the best in live races. And he's just gone and set a 1:24 on his first attempt on a cold track. This is why he's a champion. James Smith can only go a second behind. And James is a very, very fast driver in his own right. Ramacii just proving to have too much for anyone else to handle. I'm looking at his closest contender, Alvarez Sanchez. He's going to cross the line, and I don't think he's going to improve on Ramacii at all. As he doesn't, he goes third fastest, 2 seconds behind Ramacii. Of course, qualifying is only half the story. I was pressing the wrong button there, wondering what was going on. This is Mohit Samra for the... what team is this? I've never actually checked the team. Monoir Sim Racing. Of course, actually have a title sponsorship, and Mohit really taking his time around this corner. Let's take the lap on board with him. Self-proclaimed pro esports gamer is Mohit Samra. Though immediately slows down way too much for the first corner. It's pretty bad lap here so far. Doesn't use the curb on the outside, and then again he's really sluggish, is Mohit. Let's have a look at his lines. His line seems okay, it's just his throttle application isn't as good, I can tell already, and he's not using all of the track. In fact, he's moving under braking to go and collect the perfect line rather than committing to it straight on. Slides it round and unable to get it back. Or unable to collect the drift, really. So it is going to be a very slow lap, and he's got Ramacii behind him that he's going to have to worry about. Not what the, well, back marker really wants. And he is going to have to look in his mirrors because he's going to collect Ramacii if he's not careful. He's going to have to let him go. He doesn't let him go. Ramacii was on a hot lap there. Actually, clumsy driving from Mohit. Very clumsy driving, actually, and he's almost taken out Vichas. Why is he battling him on a lap that he's already messed up? Is he going to let him through? I hope he lets him through. That would be the most sensible thing to do. But he has got the slipstream now, heading in for his next attempt. That braking though, I know, not the best braking from Mohit there. Again, not using all of the curb on the outside of the track. A minor detail though, and all that racing line was very messy. Not hitting the apex at all there from Mohit, although it's a mistake anyone can make. A nice line through there, however, uses all of the track, and then his line is almost perfect. Not using quite all of the track on the exit as he would do. He's lugging this car around a bit, not exactly getting the maximum out of it, it'd be fair to say, and still, Mohit slowing down way too much with his corners. He's not carrying that speed that you need to really be smooth with these cars. He's driving like it is an F1 game rather than a racing simulator, and he's done the same mistake again. His brake bias clearly is not on point. Not ideal for Mohit. There were yellow flags there. We're going to check how long is left in the session. 3 minutes and 22 seconds as I've gone into my file explorer there. Manuel Alvarez Sanchez currently sitting in P3. 2 seconds down. Aggressively warming his tyres there. He'll feel cheated out of a championship with himself, actually, because of this season in that reading game car. Favourite heading into the championship, and then Ramacii just takes off the sandbags at race 1 and has sailed to victory ever since. Sailing being probably a power boating to the victory ever since. He's how is this man driving these times? I think Vichas showing what everyone else thinks as I'm going to load in Sean. I do apologise for the slightly scrappy stream. I haven't been able to set up properly. I am the emergency cameraman. I was only meant to be commentating today, and then, as I said, Jacob Reed gets a seat in VSRA. Go watch their stream, by the way. Probably better striving standards than here. Obviously, after this stream, they've got 24 hours of Spa, so there's no rush for you to go and watch, although it has been a pretty good race so far. That lead run by Joey, the previous owner of Vals, and Mohit spins again. I want to get just a normal lap from this guy. Doesn't seem to be doing them so far. And he's spun again, 2 corners in a row, and oh, he's going to have to watch out for Ramacii. Sensible there from Mohit. Nice surprise. It's not going to have long left in this session. We've got 1 minute and 23 seconds left for the Indian to set a lap time. 12 seconds. He's 12 seconds off the pace That's actually improved by 5 seconds on his previous time. In practice. Second gear for this first corner. And again, taking a half-decent racing line through there. Probably not the optimal line, but experimenting with his lines is Mohit. Slowing down way too much for that corner. I sincerely hope that is just my ping. As I said, my 1080p stream ping going horrendous. Caveman internet. Second gear. Again, not being smooth on the throttle as Mohit's in the grass again. He can't get a lap together at all. A bit disappointing as someone who really hypes himself up in the early stages of him entering into the championship. Again, really not using as much of the track as he could. Slowing down way too much there. Vaichas has spun ahead and he's going to just allow Mohit through. Sensible driving from Vaichas. And Mohit he's taken the wrong layout of the track. Which I would probably do. Then again, I haven't driven this track before, so I suppose that makes sense. As I believe we will be on the final qualifying laps, and he's caused the use of the sensor button. 19 minutes and 11 seconds into the race. Let's have a look. Oh, 0 seconds left in the qualifying session, actually. This will be the final bout from these drivers. And it is Ramacii on pole. Essentially. Unless James Smith can improve by a second, Vaichas still spun out. So unless James can pull out something very special out of this bag, it's going to be Ramacii on pole by 1.125 seconds. Ramacii basically being our Lewis Hamilton, our Ayrton Senna being very, very dominant. And James has pretty much ruined his pole position chances there. But he'll take second place, as he does, unable to improve. Sean Jones, can he improve? No, he can't. He can set a lap, though. Of course he can improve, but he's 16 seconds off the pace. A lot of people not setting laps in this championship, in this race here. But, that being said, we will be going. Now I can't do the fancy cameras with that, because I have to go to my OBS. We're going to a warm-up session. In fact, I'm going to ask people if they want a warm-up session. Bear with me. Sensor Man is out as we wait for 3 minutes for the warm-up session to end. We will be going to race in 3 minutes' time. As a lovely little wholesome chat between Massimiliano Ribli and Jakub Kalpasic. Oh, Jakub Kalpasic, a name I haven't heard in a quite a long time. The Vals champion doing the next Super League Lights race. Another channel you should go subscribe to, GPVWC Sim Racing. Great little league that is. Little league. Yes, I don't know if anyone's ever heard of this small league called GPVWC. Lovely little championship that. Anyway, Nicholas Ramacii on pole position. I don't think anyone will be surprised at that revelation. 20 laps. It should be 16 laps. I believe. Oh no! Sensor has to come back out. just going to check it's 16 laps. Ask Sean. Because my worry is we did next circuit, so it would make sense for it to be messed up. Wait for Sean to tell us. We'll just say it's 60. I have to check now. I'm really sorry. I've got 42 seconds to check, so I will check. I've opened up my radio player app again. It's probably collected hundreds of thousands of data. Right, let's go to the calendar section. Once my awful internet connects. Come on. Hurry up, please. "16 laps, yes. Simple as pie." Meanwhile, Ron Squire is having pizza time. You love to see it. Still doesn't cook his pizza, but it's not important. Right, we'll be going to race. As everyone said they can.
Attention grid, will all non-essential personnel leave the grid now?
Not long, as I'm going to just sort out the sensor button again, and then we'll be ready for a 16-lap race here in SAL Academy. No formation lap, remember. So when they get onto the grid, it is go. I hope Ramacii's here. He hasn't been chatting, but yes, SOL will be running on RFX 2 next season. Then we go to the lights, actually, already. 5 red lights. And we go for the final round of SAL Academy. And Ramacii gets a perfect start, picture perfect start. And everyone kind of slots it behind. Manuel Alvarez Sanchez is looking to make up places in the early stages. And Ramacii's been punted off. Already there's a massive accident behind. I believe that's Mohit Samar involved with all the Prime GP cars. We're going to be having a look at that incident once more. As you can see, riding on board with Mohit. Gets a little bit of wheel spin off of the start. And what happens here? I think he bins it on his own, actually. Just misses his braking point a little bit. I don't believe there's any contact with any other drivers. I think it was just an unfortunate series of events between him and Sean there, not really involving each other. Manuel Alvarez Sanchez is in the lead. Ramacii's gone down to 6th position. Not the way he wants to start his race, especially when there's a 100% record on the line. Joe Gillett is trying to make a move on Kevin Weichers. Everyone kind of following through. Formation flying as Manuel Alvarez Sanchez trying to get his maiden win in the championship. He's lost so many races from this position. I'll be hoping he can just keep it on the track and keep, of course, Ramacii behind him. I wouldn't run it past getting through this field quickly as he's already up into P5. What a move from Nicholas Ramacii. That is why he's the champion. There's yellow flags behind. That's Joe Gillett making a little bit of a mistake. Now, Ramacii going for the move on Kevin Weichers. I don't think he's going to have the top speed. He'd think he's gone for a higher downforce setup. Is he going to soar already into the podium? A double overtake. It's 3 wide for P3. Weichers losing the car a little bit, having a bit of oversteer. And now Ramacii around the outside. I think he's made the move stick. Has he? He has. What a move from the champion. Now looking to make headway on Kevin Steiger, who moves across on him. But Ramacii will not be phased. He's going to still try and make the move. James Smith in 2nd place. Manuel Alvarez Sanchez in 1st place. And oh, it's 3 wide again through the corner. Weichers comes out on top. Actually, and oh, they're being squeezed. And Ramacii has to settle for P5. Turns out he is actually human, contrary to popular belief, and can get overtaken. And Steiger's got it all wrong there. And is calling out someone in chat. I'm going to have to see what happens here. Does he get tagged? He does, by Ramacii, I believe. Not what you really want to happen this early on into the race. Ramacii into P3. P4, sorry, nonetheless. Manuel Alvarez Sanchez on lap 2, coming up to lap Mohit Samra. Although to be fair to Mohit, he did have a front wing to contend with. This is Sean Jones in P5 after a poor start. And Viches is going to have to look into his mirrors already. This is how fast the rocket ship of Ramacii is. Jay Smith is in the wall! What a shame for the Englishman. What happens here? I think he just loses it mid-corner. A bit of understeer. Nasty hit in the end. He just slides tank slapper into the wall. Lucky to not lose his rear wing there. James Smith will be bitterly disappointed with this. This is Steiger all the way down in P8 after that early crash with Ramacii. Speaking of Ramacii in P3, looking to make a move on P2 already. He may have a chance as he goes around the outside. He may have a chance to make it 100% on track. Whether he does it... Oh, he's hit him. He's another person. Ramacii, not a really clean race by his high standards. He's been playing bumper cars, really. I'm not sure what happened here, really. I don't think that was Ramacii's fault, to be fair. I think Steiger just... Viches, sorry. Had a bit of understeer and just kind of understeered into Ramacii, causing him to go around. Sean Jones into the gravel. Everyone's struggling with understeer in these cars. James Smith gets past Viches and Ramacii already trying to make moves on that 6-second gap to Manuel Alvarez Sanchez. Ahead, Mohit Samra is the next car, though. Already a lap down on Sanchez. I'll have to double check that. I don't think that was Ramacii's fault. But obviously my netcode not being amazing when I'm streaming. James Smith not actually getting over still, he said. His pad is broken. He's back now. Manuel Alvarez Sanchez has already got a 4.8 grab. Now Ramacii, however, that sore loser is... Ramacii... to be fair, looking at that incident between Ramacii and Steiger, I think it was Ramacii's fault, but I don't necessarily think he was a sore loser. I think it was just a mistake from him. It wasn't malicious. He's a very fast driver, is Ramacii, and I can't see him particularly doing that kind of thing on purpose. Jakob being very interesting in chat. And you can see that gap has already came down quite a bit. 4.9 seconds. Ramacii's gained a second in that previous lap. How many laps has he got to go? Oh, I don't know what's happened there. About just over half the race to go as Steiger comes into the pits for an early pit stop. That's going to an alternate strategy compared to everyone else in this race. Stella has a bit of an incident there, but not too much. Just a simple mistake that cost him a little bit of time. There's yellow flags out as Steiger spins and is a lap down as well. Massey saying, imagine calling the champion names after his first crash in the entire season. And I kind of have to agree there, to be honest. I don't think Ramacii would have done it on purpose. I think it was just a simple mistake. I think he'll probably get penalised for it. And I hope he won't mind me saying, probably fair enough. I'll have to see the crash from the client perspective. And see what it was like. And obviously we'll have to hear everything. But I think from first looking in, it is his fault and he probably does deserve a penalty for it. But I don't think it's necessarily... I don't think it's necessarily malicious or anything like that. I think it's just a simple mistake from him. Very easy to make a mistake, especially when cars don't have brake lights. If you're braking points later than someone else is, you kind of just have to guess there. And whilst it's part of the skill to guess that braking point, I don't think necessarily it's an easy mistake to make, is what I'm trying to say, as Mohit Samra has been lapped up by Kevin Viches. Now, makes a little bit of a mistake, gets a bit of oversteer mid-corner. Sean Jones now battling with Valentin Talbot for P5. Yeah, Matty, summing up in chat there. In fact, I will show you that. Steiger saying only because Ramacii thinks he's good. Doesn't mean he can punt us out this fight. Very harsh from Steiger there. I think James Smith saying stuff you. More's going on in chat than in the actual race, as the gap's now 2.8 seconds. Even if he gets a 5-second time penalty, I don't think Ramacii's going to really... I don't think it's going to bother Ramacii if it carries on as it is. As I said, I think it was his fault. It's not because he thinks he's good. And to be fair, if you win every race in a season apart from the last race so far, then you can kind of say you're good. Even if the standard of the championship hasn't been amazing. I mean, look at the gap that's going down now. We're less than halfway through the race, and Ramacii's already pulled a 6-second gap down to 1.8 seconds. I mean, obviously, I want Manuel to hold on to the lead, being my driver and everything, but I don't think he will. Judging by this, I think he might get the win post-race, but not my decision to make. It's a collective decision from the admins, of course, assuming the report comes in. I think Steiger's being unnecessarily, without using a particularly diplomatic word, I think he's being a little bit, 1 second. I think he's being a little bit, just a little bit annoyed, letting his emotions get the better of him, as this battle is already happening earlier than we first thought. Backmarks get involved, and oh dear! Manuel! He's flipped the car! He's flipped his car! Obviously, R-Factor rights him back round, but what has happened there? The reading game driver flips. Gets onto the gravel and hits the curb weirdly, and what has propelled him into the air there? Not the sight I want to see. Not the sights he wants to see. Such a shame. And Ramacii's got a 12-second gap now. Even a 20-second time penalty, which is the maximum you can give, I believe. We'll probably see Ramacii still doing pretty well in this race. I think the maximum we can give is a 20-second time penalty. According to the FIA rules, that is, of real life. Let's have a look at this battle, actually, for Sean Jones and Valentin Talbot. As you don't understand how difficult it is to commentate, I'd like to point out, I know you're... Oh dear, Sean! Has made a mistake and is into the wall. It's so difficult to commentate when nothing really is happening and you've got two lovely looking burgers ready to eat, staring at you. Very difficult. Steiger's retired from the race, so I imagine we're going to see some verbals in chat in a second, as this burger smells very nice, as we're halfway through this race. I apologise for any swearing in chat once again. "23 seconds, the gap between Ramacii and James Smith. I do apologise, there was a battle going on there, but I thought I was looking at Ramacii, so I didn't commentate on it, so I assumed it was a back marker. Greatest apologies there. James Smith in an outside chance of winning this race, actually, if he can keep in a decent gap of Ramacii, because as it stands, even with the maximum penalty you can give, Ramacii would win the race. And I believe a 30-second time penalty, if we're even allowed to give that, Be very harsh for that incident. Halfway through the race, Ramacii will probably be pitting sometime soon. "24 seconds, the gap now. Seems to be ever closing as James Smith comes into the pits at the end of this lap. 38 seconds from Ramacii to Sanchez, which means even with, obviously Ramacii making a pit stop, it will still be a, assuming about 20 seconds for the pit stop, it will still be a fairly sizable gap. As Ramacii won't be coming to the pits at the end of this lap, and James will neither be coming to the pits at the end of this lap. Almost 40 seconds the gap from Ramacii to Sanchez. Which is a really interesting gap, actually. It means that even with a pit stop, Ramacii would still come out even 20 seconds ahead of Sanchez. He is cruising in this race. As James Smith does commit for a pit stop at the end of this lap. And again, I mentioned this on the ESRS stream, I don't know if any of you were watching, but if you listen to James's engine traces, I'll let you out of the next corner or so. James really has a weird throttle technique. He very much gives it short, like centre, short bursts of throttle, in an effort to sort of, I don't know, I suppose just to get the engine into rev range, really, and the fact that he's on pad, obviously, giving him a little bit there. As he does come into the pits, and he's going to come out behind Sanchez, probably. As he does, you can see on that gap, Sanchez comes out just ahead of James Smith. And apart from his little flip, Sanchez has had a pretty good drive. And Ramacii pitting this lap as well. 41 seconds that gap. This strategy, if he gets a good pit stop, could be perfect for Ramacii to, even with the maximum penalty, still get this 100% race victories. It'll be interesting. It'll be very interesting. Watch that gap in the top left-hand corner of your screen. Slow stop from Ramacii. But he is back running, and is the gap going to be just under 20 seconds? No. But it's close enough. A bit more pace from Ramacii. And he has this race guaranteed. Finally, an on-track battle between James Smith and Kevin Weichers. Hopefully a clean one too, as a quick update. Mohit Samra's 2 laps down. Interesting pace from him. I give him too much flack. Oh dear! I was looking down at live stream chat. What has happened there? James all over the back of Weichers. I think this, it looks like it's, yeah, James just gets it a little bit wrong. Unfortunately, that's James's fault, going off at the same place as he did last time. As much as I like James, great commentator, by the way. Probably his fault. His steering's bent. 26 seconds the gap now. That's how many laps are left. So we have 4 laps left in this contest. 4 laps of nothing, it seems. This has been I'm going to say it, unfortunately, it's been a race of attrition. As James Smith struggles to lap Stella. Oh dear. Mohit Samra saying WTF as he's spun. And we'll see what's happened this time. So, goes into the corner and locks up the rears. Because, of course. As James Smith makes the same mistake. He almost kept that then. James, but not quite. So, how many laps are left now? Check. 3 laps left. A little bit less, I imagine, because of Ramacii being in... Where is he? Well, he's only just started Sector 2. So, still not long left in this one. And I believe we'll be looking at this man, the champion, winning 100% of the races. One thing that is for sure is that these stewards have got a hell of a night ahead of them. Unfortunately for Massimiliano Riboli, the VAL team owner and steward, one of the stewards, by the way, he's not, you know, he's not going to just, like, not give Ramacii a time penalty because he's one of the stewards. It's like a panel kind of thing. Lots of people from rival teams and things like that. So it's a clear decision. There will be no celebratory kebabs, it seems. It will be a night of stewarding from the admin team. But at the end of the day, the true kebab is the friends we made along the way. It's been a pretty good season for the SRL Racing... Oh, I keep saying SRL Racing League. This volume per hit gets caught up in some back market danglings. So, it's SAL is the name of the league, and then it's SAL Racing League, which is what you'll see, SAL and SRL. They're both abbreviations, and it's confusing. But we're stuck for names, and that was the best one we found we could use. So they kind of can be used interchangeably. So if I say SRL Racing League, it's actually incorrect because it's SAL Racing League Racing League. It should be SAL Racing League, or SRL is the correct terminology. 33 seconds that gap now between Ramacii and Alvarez Sanchez. If you asked me this time last year for VALs, I would have been very happy with a podium, but a bit bittersweet today, as Alvarez Sanchez seemed to have the pace to at least hold off from Ramacii for a few laps. But as we head on to what will be the final lap, I believe. Yes, this is the final lap of the race. What a drive it has been from this man, Ramacii, as he heads to Sector 3 now. It has been an amazing season. Even with the maximum time penalty he can get, he will still be 100% of the races. He will have won. 100%. 8 from 8. What a season it has been from this man. And as long as he can keep it together down the straight, he will be a platinum winner of the championship. What a drive. What a season. Outclassing the competition. It has to be said as the primes crash over the line for 7th and 8th. Alvarez Sanchez is going to cross the line in P2, it seems. Very good talent is Sanchez. One for the future, probably. Keep an eye out for him in some RFAX 2 leagues at some point, I imagine. He seems he'd be very capable in one of them. A good second place to round off the season. Vaichers gets 3rd place. Brilliant podium, brilliant drive from him. Good recovery. Joe Gillett hasn't particularly driven to his maximum, I think he'll say himself as well. But it's been a good season nonetheless, and he comes home in a solid P4. James Smith is going to take P5, actually. Another brilliant driver, brilliant commentator. You'll see him on Formula SAL tomorrow evening, sorry. And he's going to pull over before the line and let Talbot through, it seems. Is he allowed to do that? He's going to do it. Brilliant sportsmanship from James there. 6th. So, it's over. Everyone breathe a sigh of relief. Ramacii's not human. He's actually a god. It has been proven now. He should be praised by the Pope. That's the TLDR from this season. But join us tomorrow for the final afternoon, the final Super Sunday, as long as Sky don't have that trademark, of the season, as SAL, it's the first season of SAL Racing League